They call it the map that won't go away. A chart drawn in 1513 by an Ottoman admiral named PiriReis. Detailed, precise, and depicting lands that, by all accounts, should have been unknown to Europeans of his time. Welcome to the Empire of Secrets. I'm your host. Tonight we peel back parchment and ocean spray to follow one of history's most provocative documents, the PiriReisMap. Is it a remarkable piece of early cartography, a borrowed compilation of ancient knowledge, or proof that someone once saw a world before modern explorers? Strap in. This map forces us to ask, who holds the lost charts of the past, and why? Piri ibn Haji Mehmed, known as PiriReis, was an Ottoman admiral, navigator, and mapmaker. He lived at the crossroads of Mediterranean seafaring and Islamic scholarship, an era when Turkish fleets, Andalusian sailors, Arab astronomers, and Iberian expeditions exchanged knowledge. In 1513, Piri compiled a world map using dozens of earlier charts and written sources, proudly listing his references on the margins. It was practical navigation, until researchers noticed oddities. Parts of the South American coastline rendered with uncanny accuracy, island chains placed in strange relation, and a southern landmass that some have read as an ice-free Antarctica. The surviving fragment of PiriReis's map is a single sheet, part of a larger work, showing the Atlantic coasts of Europe, Africa, and the Americas. What made it famous was the detailed depiction of South America's coastline and a lower projection that some argue maps Antarctica's northern coast. The map combines classical place names, Arabic annotations, and a mix of coastal profiles that suggest multiple source maps. Piri himself claims to have used 20 charts from Portuguese, Spanish, and Arabic sources, some reportedly dating back to Alexander the Great's mariners, he wrote. Whether that claim is literal, rhetorical, or poetic is part of the mystery. One of the most sensational readings claims that PiriReis's lower landmass is an ice-free Antarctica, drawn centuries before its 1820 discovery. Proponents argue that the coastline shows interior detail and mountain ranges that would be hidden beneath modern ice, implying source maps from a time when Antarctica had less ice. Perhaps during an earlier geological warm period or pre-flood civilization. Skeptics counter. The shapes can be matched to distorted representations of South America when using different map projections, or to coastal fragments rearranged by Piri's compilation process. Geological evidence shows Antarctica has been ice-covered for millions of years. Mainstream geoscience rejects any recent ice-free period consistent with the map theory. Still, the claim persists because it feeds a larger story. Lost ancient mariners and maps inherited from a vanished age. Piri's notes list an astonishing range of sources: Portuguese charts, Arabic Portolan charts, and, most provocatively, maps of the ancients, compiled by peoples from the time of Alexander. Here we enter the terrain of forbidden history. Some suggest Piri's map is a late survival of older, highly accurate charts, perhaps copied from a global library destroyed in antiquity. The idea of a prehistoric cartographic tradition appeals to those who see discontinuities in human development. Sudden leaps in navigation, astronomy, and architecture. Opponents point out that medieval and Renaissance mapmakers routinely copied and combined sources, often without modern standards of accuracy, creating composite errors and mirrored coastlines. Whether Piri's map preserves vanished knowledge or simply reflects skilled compilation with lucky accuracies remains contested. In the 20th century, the map drew renewed attention after scholars and enthusiasts analyzed projections, scale, and comparative coastlines. Some researchers used modern geodesy to align Piri's drawings with true coastlines, claiming unexpected precision in places. Others highlighted obvious problems: missing interior detail, inconsistent scales, and transcription errors. Another line of inquiry examined the map's toponyms and annotations. Arabic notes, reference lists, and PiriReis' own commentary reveal a mapmaker trying to reconcile conflicting reports. The map is both a technical artifact and a narrative document. Its language and layout encode a worldview as much as physical geography. When a document resists easy explanation, extraordinary narratives rush in. Some propose the map descends from a pre-glacial, civilization-level maritime culture, call it Atlantis, that crossed oceans with accurate charts. Others spin tales of lost global libraries, survivors handing down precise knowledge. More speculative corners of the internet posit alien navigators or ancient astronauts who planted maps and charts for humanity to find. None of these theories commands mainstream support, but they share a psychological logic. Humans prefer agency and story over statistical chance and piecemeal survival of data. PiriReis becomes a Rorschach test for those who want to read deep time as a series of intentional interventions. Maps also serve power. The Ottoman Empire used cartography for maritime strength, trade, and legitimacy. PiriReisMap, assembled from diverse sources, demonstrates a cosmopolitan reach and a claim to knowledge. In modern times, the PiriReisMap has been politicized again. Nations and ideologues cite it to support narratives about ancient presence, territorial claims, or suppressed history. The map's ambiguous provenance makes it adaptable, a useful symbol for those who see mainstream archaeology as a gatekeeping institution. The PiriReis controversy exposes how we read historical evidence. A single artifact can be framed as revolutionary or trivial depending on interpretive choices. Responsible inquiry demands context, provenance, chain of custody, material analysis, and textual cross-checking. At the same time, curiosity must not be dismissed. Anomalies can lead to breakthroughs. The balance lies in rigorous skepticism married to imaginative reconstruction, a willingness to test hypotheses without letting story outrun data. Why obsess over a 16th century map? It's because maps are stories about who we are and how we see the world. The PiriReisMap forces us to ask, what was lost in the sweep of empires? What knowledge traveled with sailors, scholars, and traders that never made it into modern textbooks? And who decides which histories are preserved and which are relegated to footnotes? Whether the map proves ancient global knowledge or simply showcases a brilliant compiler, it invites us to keep looking at archives, shipwrecks, and marginal notes for clues about our past. The PiriReisMap is not a smoking gun. It is an invitation to sift, to question, and to keep combing through fragments of our shared past. If you enjoyed this deep dive into maps, mysteries, and maritime secrets, subscribe to the Empire of Secrets, leave your theory in the comments, and hit like to support more episodes. Follow us on social for updates and join the conversation. What map would you want to find? Until next time, keep your compass steady and your eyes on the horizon. Thanks for sailing through the PiriReis mystery with the Empire of Secrets. If this episode opened new questions for you, subscribe and ring the bell so you don't miss our next deep dives into forbidden history. Drop your thoughts and theories in the comments. I read them all. If you liked the episode, smash the like button and share it with a friend who loves mysteries. For behind-the-scenes content and episode updates, follow us on YouTube. Until next time, keep your compass steady and keep asking the dangerous questions. New episodes every Monday.